chain of the internet
Uh-oh.
What?
overrides everything at the end.
The Los Angeles Aqueduct, constructed from 1907 to its official opening in 1913, brought water from the High Sierra Aquifer through a string of artificial reservoirs connected by giant pipes and canals, 200 miles
Are they
across
still
the
there,
desert
side by
of Los
side?
Angeles.
No, he went down.
It allowed that small city on the coast to grow into a megalopolis. The massive project was built ahead of schedule and under budget by architect William Mulholland. Without the
I don't
aqueduct,
even
there
think
would
that
be
they
no
suspect
Los
that he's
Angeles
there.
as we know it today. But there was a human price to pay for all that speed and economy.
He's sitting there
The
watching him
aqueduct
come down
project
too.
was
Oh
a dam
man.
and reservoir system,
Cheezer
including
just
an
ran right
artificial
into him.
lake created by a gravity dam in San Francisco Canyon, 45 miles northwest of the city. Built from 1924 to 26, the dam had been full for 2 years, serving as terminal water storage for the city of Los Angeles. Though it was leaking badly, no warnings were given, and just before midnight on March 12, 1928, the St. Francis Dam burst. 12 billion gallons of water were released into the canyon. A wall of water, 125 feet high, roared downstream, and 450 people below the dam drowned in their beds. It was the worst man-made disaster in California history, documented by this historical recreation and footage from the Department of Water and Power.
The dam is located over to my left here. It spans from the point I am at, which is the right abutment or west abutment, across the canyon to the left, which was the left abutment or east abutment.
There he is, he's back up in.
Little remains of the dam in this canyon today. Nothing marks the spot where concrete once stood 185 feet high. An artificial lake flooded this entire valley.
When the reservoir started to fill, the water would percolate into the sides of the hills on each side of the dam, and it became saturated on the old landslide plains. And so at a point in time when friction there wasn't there, then it started to move down and cause that left abutment to give away, causing eventually the dam. So it was sort of a sequential operation.
Critics say the massive loss of life was caused not by flawed geology, but by Mulholland's personality. The dam had been leaking badly, well before it collapsed. In fact, locals were so concerned they brought the great man up there just 1 day before the fatal disaster to see for himself.
Mulholland was called out to the dam the day before it failed to inspect what was significantly before the actual release of the dam occurred. And he assured everybody there that it was fine. This was normal leakage for a dam, which of course it was not.
The St. Francis Dam collapse forced a set of laws designed to prevent such an occurrence again. William Mulholland himself was devastated by the tragedy and spent the rest of his life in seclusion.
It's certainly possible that a very small factor can trigger a whole cascade of other factors that can lead to a disaster.
Never has this been more true than in the great Northeast blackout of 1965. While it took years for engineers to figure out exactly what happened, the fact was that for half a day the entire Northeast region of North America went dark. Phones worked, battery radios worked, but practically nothing else electrical did.
The Great 65 blackout, I think, was the wake-up call, really, to the nation of the interdependence of the power grid.
It happened November 9th, 1965 at 5:27 p.m., the height of rush hour. LaGuardia and Kennedy airports were paralyzed. Thousands were trapped for the next 13 hours in elevators. Operating rooms and hospitals went dark. Traffic lights. Subway trains filled with almost 1 million commuters. The entire city shut off. Unbelievably, it all started hundreds of miles away in the North Woods. At a power substation near Niagara Falls in Ontario, a small electrical relay, similar to a circuit breaker, overloaded and kicked off when it shouldn't have. Later, it turned out the relay was marked as having been upgraded, but it had actually been overlooked. That small event triggered a massive chain reaction.